Hello everyone. So Vindicator has recently been buffed, and in this video I'm going to show you a trick that you can use that makes you do even more damage than the snow course benchmark shows you. And as you might know, is that Vindicator builds on using these dodges, and there is a bug actually in the game that allows you to auto-attack during the dodge roll. And with this extra auto-attack, obviously every time you dodge you gain like 8000 damage on top, and it's easy to see how this leads to like 1, 2 or even 3k DPS gained depending on how long the fight takes. So I'm going to show you how to do it, and the key thing is that you want to dodge at the end of a skill that you used. On Sword we use the Sword 2 ability. On Greatsword you use Greatsword 2 and the Alliance Elite skill. At the end of those that you want to dodge, you want to spam the 1 key during the cast of those abilities, so you have a auto attack queued up after the ability, and then when you dodge at exactly the right moment, the character will both do the dodge and the auto attack at the same time. We're going to show this right now on the sword set, where it's much easier to do than on the other set. When you see the 1 skill flash up with an extra attack, like now, we get an extra hit in, and this is just 8k damage for each dodge, as I said. Now it failed actually. And the important part of this is that you not only have to input the skill 1 after the sword 2, but that you also dodge at the right time. Now, what the right time is depends on which skill you're bugging after, and on the sword set, you basically want to wait a long time until the sword 2 has finished, and only then do you want to dodge. If you dodge too early, you might even cancel your sword 2, and you certainly won't get the extra auto attack. So yeah, wait until the sword 2 has completed, then auto attack, dodge at the same time. And what I recommend if you want to practice this is that you just do the same that I'm doing right now, spawn a golem with all boons, and just do auto attacks and sword 2s, and whenever you sword 2 you dodge and you spam 1 during the whole story. Technically you don't need to spam 1, it is enough to press 1 once. But personally I just have it in muscle memory to spam my 1 key a bit if I want to trigger the dodge. It sort of helps me focus on the correct timing. And at the start you will not be quite consistent with it, because it is really a timing thing. But just remember, every time you do this correctly you just gain a little bit of damage, so you don't have to be perfect right at the start. This will come with muscle memory. And the main reason why it didn't work at the start for me was that I wasn't actually pressing 1. When I don't press 1, what will happen is that my character doesn't know to attack in the air, because it shouldn't be able to, right? So it won't automatically. So what you really have to do is you have to spam input 1 after you have pressed your sword 2, and then wait for the sword to complete and dodge roll. So yeah, kill some golems with that. I'm going to, just for completeness, also show the same thing on Greatsword and with the Alliance Elite. But fair warning that this timing is much more narrow. You have to find the timing that is proper for this method. I feel like on the Greatsword it's slightly earlier than it was on the sword. You see what I did now? I got an extra auto attack like this. It's slightly earlier. I don't quite wait for the full Greatsword 2, and then I get the bonus hit, but it will not always work and if you do the dodge too early, you actually just lose everything, and you even lose your thief relic stacks because you cancel the Greatsword 2. And you can also bug after the elite skill like this, And you can combine it with Greatsword 2 bugs. Now it didn't work, okay. And what is even neat, you can, with the elite skill, you can also bug during any part of the auto attack chain. So you can get a bugged third auto rather than a bugged first auto in the chain. Now if he, let's quickly show the full golem rotation maybe, where you see this in action. So let's do a quick precast. Now we try to GS2 bug, and then we do sword 2 bug, and now followed up by another sword 2 bug, and the next sword 2 will also be bugged with a dodge, and now you use the elite skill into a dodge bug. Now Greatsword 2 into a dodge bug, and another Greatsword 2 hopefully into a dodge bug, yes. And now we do 2 autos, and then the third auto is getting bugged with the elite skill, and then we are back to sword bugging. And this way you can really rack up these bonus auto hits. Right now we have 7 dodges per loop. If each of these does like extra 8,000 damage, yeah, you can do the math on how that influences DPS, of course. As I said, I would recommend starting with Shiro. The Greatsword portion and the Alliance portion is really much more difficult to handle. And if you look at Snowcrows at the benchmark, that benchmark is not using any bugs. Snowcrows doesn't want to use bugs, which is a respectable stance. I still wanted to show it to you because if a bug is like this, it's just some elite knowledge that nobody ever talks about, but everyone is using at the top. That's also not really fair towards most people. I think if you want to, you should be able to practice this precise dodge timing. And compared to other bugs, which for example use some trait bugs or the interface to access abilities you shouldn't be having, or actually just break the game with game-breaking amounts of DPS, this is a rather small thing, where you just use very precise timing of abilities to just use 2 skills at the same time that you should normally not be using. In my opinion, this is a lot less problematic than, let's say, being a willbender, but also having access to Firebrand tomes during the rotation. Alright, so this is it for this video already. Thanks so much for watching and have a nice day.